There's always the doom and gloom people in this world. And for the last 14 years, they've been wrong. And finally, they're getting it. And you know what they always say? I told you. I'm like, what goes up?
And it's always cyclical.
It's
got
gonna
to
happen.
flex.
Actually, we're 4 years late to what is supposed to be a cyclical one. And I think there's a lot of corrections going on. There's things like tariffs and all this stuff that's happening in this market. And honestly, all the weak will fall and the strong will survive, right? Like we've seen this over and over again. I lived through the 2008 recession. I lived through a little bit of the 2000 recession, right? I've seen it all. I think this one, if it is pretty light compared to some of the ones that we've seen in the past. Like we may see prices, and depending on what happens, because it's an everyday changing thing, right? Like what happened yesterday to today, we are now at a potentially different structure with that thing. And what happens when this pod comes out to when we are talking about it, we don't know what that number is going to be. It could be all gone and fixed for all we know.
I don't know. Depends on how you're measuring this one being light compared to others. I think there's variables that are different with this one, with where inflation is at, where cost of living is at. It's a little bit of a trickier one.
It is trickier.
As of right now, yeah, but I mean, it could go south fast and be much, much worse.
And I think there's a big difference between a free market-driven recession and adjustment and a policy and regulation-driven adjustment. There are two big differences.
There's a lot of ways we can look at this, but the reality is, we are not big enough to control any of this stuff. And what we need to focus on is how we stay resilient in our business and how we survive through this, how we come out stronger, how we come better.
Follow for more